Hello, I'm Kathleen, and this is my 300-hour YTT capstone. I chose to record and compile like a 15 to 20-ish minute practice that can be done hopefully most places. And I even actually just admittedly, I just ate my lunch and this earth element practice, which is what I'd like to share, is how deeply my practice has shifted and my understanding of yoga has shifted since really engaging more deeply from an element perspective. So the anatomy of emotions was super pivotal and actually encouraged me to sign up for the 300 hour. And then moving through earth element, this very fascinating thing happened. I signed up for the anatomy of emotion and heard this very powerful, introduction from Mark and Janet. And then a week or two into me beginning the course, I actually had a really intense fall. I was on my morning walk, and there's a little bit of a hike on my morning walk. And at the time, I was with my partner. We just grabbed coffee, and on sort of a downslope down to a little river, stream, quarry area, I actually missed a step and fell hands and face first into sheetrock. And earth element in the anatomy of emotion course got put on pause for about 3 to 6 months. I forget exactly how long. This was back in 2020. And I actually ended up injuring myself, scraping a lot of the skin off my hands. And I really had to slow down. Like literally, earth stopped me in my tracks. I had been on a progression of arm balances and trying to be really more contortionist and fancy, showy in my practice. And what I have come to reflect on is that was a huge part of my ego, really trying to compensate for a major loss I'd experienced in a breakup. I'd had a pretty messy breakup happen about 6 months to a year prior, and I used my yoga physical practice as a way to prove my worth. And I can say that now, but it's taken me a while to get there. So, my earth element practice I wanted to invite today is really about the humility of surrendering to the power of earth and the humility I've had to really sink into around stillness practices, how that earth can be really hard and confronting when I run up against it, when I fall, when I feel like I have to keep going, even though everything around me says slow down. And so these earth practices I wanted to offer today were really around finding a little more stillness, a little more self-compassion, and a little more of that enoughness that Janet so beautifully speaks about interwoven throughout most of the trainings for this 300-hour course. So earth element, if you are able to begin seated and you'd like to join me, I just have a mat and a bolster. You could use blocks or you could use no props, and this could still be a great, humbling, slower moving practice. So as you find a seat, you could cross ankles or sit on your shins. And we'll start to bring our gaze somewhere steady. If you're able to close your eyes, great. If not, just find a steady point in front of you. And start to simply experience and observe the sensation of your breathing. And as you experience the sensation of your breathing, see if you can start to root deeper down through your hips. Let them get heavier towards whatever surface they touch. And as that rooting down occurs, start to feel your crown of your head lengthen to the sky. You can gently pull your occipital ridge over your sacrum. Shoulders are stacked over hips. We'll just take a few more rounds of breath here, finding your roots, soft shoulders, soft jaw. And just take 2 more breaths in and out. And then we'll slowly start to find ourselves in a mudra for earth element, just invoking some of that obstacles in the way, new beginning, but also a sense of sweet enoughness coming from the Lord Ganesh. Find your right hand facing your heart, palm towards your heart, thumb up, and find your left hand, thumb faces down, palm faces away, and interlock your fingers. Thumbs can just gently rest on the pinky edges of opposite hands. See if you can find a gentle tug of your elbows open while you simultaneously let your shoulders drop away from your ears. We'll just stay here 8 breaths. And that can feel and seem like a lot. And so there's this sense that I like to draw towards myself of breathing in and out deeply and slowly. Let's just take 6 more. Breathe in through the lungs. Breathe out. Maybe calling to mind any obstacles that have crossed your path. Any places in your own practice where you felt stuck, resistance, stopped in your tracks maybe? Where has earth risen up and been really confronting in your own life? Take 3 more. Might start to feel the heat building around the chest, the shoulders. 2 more. Beautiful. 1 more big breath in. And as you breathe out, let your hands fall to your lap. Big exhale. With the eyes closed, give them a blink open. Let's just take a few rounds, hands towards your knees or your thighs. Just start to circle your hips around. Just getting into our roots even more. You can allow the low belly to be soft. And then rotate from the pelvis, almost as if the bowl of your pelvis is rolling a marble along the sides. Do 2 more, the current direction you're going. And then we'll slowly go the other way. Maybe you start to add some shoulder dips, some cat-cow movement. 2 more. Beautiful. Come to center. If you're on any props, just slowly start to come up off of them. Come to sit on your shins. As you sit on your shins, tuck your toes under. So interestingly enough, I am recording this during the tail end of Taurus season of 2023. It's mid-May 2023. And Taurus season is earth element. It's the first earth element of the Western zodiac. And so this tucking under of toes can start to release the fascia of our feet. Try to draw knees close together and sit your hips back on your heels. If it's really, really intense for you, you might take the prop you were using to sit on and put it underneath your hips, above your heels. That can start to lessen the intensity. Refine your Ganesh mudra. Right hand in front of the heart, left palm faces the right, interlock the 4 fingers. Maybe the eyes close, start to tug your elbows in separate directions. Friends, we're going to take 10 deep breaths here. Slowly exhaling. Maybe the eyes close or the gaze shifts softly. Come into your center, to your roots. Come to the neutral space of your breath amidst the intensity of sensation through the tissues. I like to think of this stretch as really this sense of the confronting nature of earth element. Like, what's it like to sit still when I'm super uncomfortable? So it's really important to distinguish that shouldn't feel painful. It shouldn't feel like pinching, but rather for 3 more breaths, can you lean into the discomfort? Remind yourself how strong you actually are. 2 more big breaths in and out. 1 more big breath in. Big exhale. Release your mudra, find all fours. Pitter patter the tops of your feet out. It's been interesting to cue that. I'm teaching full-time currently, yoga, and I've been cueing that toe stand almost every class, and to see some of the regular students who show up, they now hold it the whole time, and I actually start to see their faces smiling. It's pretty cool. So slowly, my friends, we're going to find our yogi squat. So again, moving through our earthy, low to ground contact between our feet and the earth poses. Once again, feel free to draw any prop underneath your hips. I love to have a throne from time to time, a block or 2 stacked under my hips. Wherever you press arms into legs, press legs back into arms and feel that conversation, that reverberation. The earth element has been such a deep, heavy at times lesson for me, but it's also been extremely empowering because it started to teach me that stuckness and stillness aren't actually a problem. They're natural. All of these teachings in this 300-hour course and curriculum have begun to teach me that my own pace, my own sense of intuitive knowing is always on time. It's only when I start to question and I start to spin and I start to believe the stories of the mind that I begin to not listen. As Janet describes it, I begin to let my attention be pulled away from me, away from my center. And so when I can really engage, so here, try to spin your heels a little forward. Maybe lift your heels away from, or the hips rather, away from the heels lightly. Yeah, and try to spin the outer edges of your feet a little open. And just stay 3 more breaths. Inhale deeply. Open mouth maybe. Exhale long. 2 more. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more full belly breath in. Stay for the exhale. Begin to drop fingers in front of you. Lift your hips for a fold. Let this be a ragdoll or sort of seaweed swaying left and right fold. You can move the hips, bend the knees, any amount. Sway side to side. Let the head dangle. Scoop your low belly up and in so that you can lift your hips even higher towards the sky. Allow there to be any amount of contact between your thighs and your belly, your rib cage, your chest. Just stay 2 more rounds of breathing deeply into the back body and deeply out. Last full belly breath in and out. We'll slowly start to roll the spine up. Arms can dangle, knees are soft. Take your time. And when you get to the top, just take a moment, shrug your shoulders to your ears, pull them back, pull them down, and go the opposite directions. Pull the shoulders up and forward. And let's set up what I've been really focusing on a lot, which is our Tadasana. This is my come home to myself pose for the past couple years. Big toes can touch, but they don't need to. And just try to parallel outer edges of feet. Find that heavy scoop of your tailbone down. Feel the wrap of your inner thighs in and a little softness in the knees. Palms can face forward, or if you'd like, right hand in front of heart, left palm in front of right, Ganesh mudra. Feel yourself get taller from your waist to your head. Drop the shoulders from your ears. And we'll just stay 5 big breaths, bringing more weight into our heels. You could dance the toes a little if you like. Extend from the top of your head upward. And you might feel the back of your neck get a little longer. Last 3 rounds, soft through the jaw, the face, heavy through the heels. And just take one more breath in here. And take a big breath out. Allow the arms to fall long by your sides. And here, let's rock weight into our toes, lift our heels up. Keep that wrap of the inner thighs back, and almost like you could squeeze your inner ankle bones towards each other. Feel the inner line of your legs light up. Then drop your heels down slowly, slowly. Good. We'll do that 2 more times. Lift your heels and lower. One more time. Lift your heels. And as you lower this time, let the heels drop heavy to the ground. You might even flail the arms a little, release any stuck energy. One more time. Good. Start to lift your arms overhead, reach up, extended mountain pose. And then forward fold, lengthen through your spine all the way down. We'll take a halfway lift, inhale. And then come to sit on your shins once more, tuck your toes under once more, exhale. I've almost taken it upon me. My service mission for Taurus season 2023 has been to expose this position, this posture to as many folks as I can. I've had a friend describe it as the medicine we take that helps us. Doesn't always taste good. But that doesn't mean it's not really getting to the sore spots. It's actually going to the source, the root. And our feet, our platforms, our first contact with earth most days of the year is really here, engaging with earth in an intense way. We'll just take 3 more breaths in and out. One more big breath in and out. And our last one, fill up and let go. Come forward to your all fours and pitter patter the toes out once more. Nice, my friends. Find yourself in an easy seat. We'll finish our practice. You could do this lying down as well if you like, but we'll finish our practice with just 9 rounds of chanting of the Ganesh mantra, one of the Ganesh mantras. You're welcome to find for a final time the mudra. Right palm faces, left interlocks. And we'll chant together silently, internally, or out loud. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. As I entered into this 300 hour, I was really fixated on yoga looking and feeling a certain way in my body. And this whole curriculum has helped me open up to what's here, what's right now, what's under my feet, what's under my shins, my seat. Sometimes earth rises up and it comforts me. Sometimes earth rises up and it smacks me right in the head, in the hands, in the knees. And either way, my relationship with it is always inviting me to come back to this moment. What's here right now? So we'll breathe in deeply. We'll breathe out. And we'll begin. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Allow the hands to release towards your lap. You're welcome to stay here for another moment or lay flat on your back, resting. Let the earth rise up in its most comforting and nourishing of ways. Maybe reflecting on any thresholds you are crossing through in the midst of or approaching. May we invoke Ganesh for the wisdom, the curiosity, the trickster-like obstacles that might rise up in our paths. And may we approach them with clear eyes, with feet planted on earth, and with the ability to discern when and where we are our own obstacles. And we'll just close out with 3 more big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. You just do 2 more like that. Deep breath in through your nose. Try to make the exhale longer than the inhale, out through your mouth. 1 more. And get totally empty. I'm bowing to this practice, to this teacher, to these teachings. May I forever be a beginner. May I forever be a student. I'm so, so grateful. Om.